It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Barton College Head men's and women's tennis coach, Lee Underwood. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Weather's nice, so everything's pretty good.
That's wonderful. Can you talk about, of course, how you got started in your coaching experience?
Well, this is my 30th year as a head coach at the collegiate level, all in D2. I guess I got involved because we had a vacancy at the school that I graduated at. Just graduated. I was playing tennis. I was probably going to substitute teach that fall, and the athletic director, I guess after resignation of our coach, came across and said, "Hey, what are you doing this fall?" And I said, "Probably going to stick around and do some substitute teaching." And he said, "Well, I got something else for you to do too." So I got my first job. It was $500 per team and free room and board. And I thought I was rich.
Can you talk about, of course, your time at Barton College and what you've accomplished for the men's tennis team?
Well, we will be starting our fourth season here in a couple weeks, but last year was short. We were 9-2. We played really well. We beat some teams that Barton has not beat in maybe 15 to 20 years. Teams like Francis Marion and Augusta. We actually got Francis Marion twice and Augusta once, and we knocked off a team that finished in the top 25 in the coaches poll, Bluefield State, the first match of the year. So I thought we accomplished a lot last year in a short period of time. We'd been rebuilding since their championship season of 2017, which I came in the fall of that year, and inherited a pretty decent group of guys. Everything. We were missing the top three from that championship team, but we've done pretty well. And last year they started to come together. So I'm looking forward to this year.
Can you talk about, of course, what you've accomplished for the women's side?
Well, when I took over for the women, we were a little bit more solid there. We had as far as returners, we only had 5 returners. So I went out and got a girl mid-year to complete the team, but for that year, because we were struggling with the numbers, but we had the top 3, and those 3 girls that fall all finished in the top 8 in our Conference Carolinas individual tournament. So we were pretty good on that point. Each year we've been a challenger with the women for the conference title, and I expect to be there this year. In our shortened season last year, we were 7-3, and we had a win against Francis Marion there, which probably, like I said, hasn't happened in 15 or 20 years. So felt pretty good about that.
Can you talk about, of course, your time at West Virginia Wesleyan for the last 6 years?
Well, those 6 years I spent there, actually, before I came to Barton, I was at Edinburgh University for 7 years. And before that, I was at West Virginia Wesleyan for 6 years. I came to West Virginia Wesleyan, had left from Davidson because those schools are very close together, about 20 miles apart. So I didn't really actually even move to take the job. We struggled for 2 years. We were in the top 3 or 4 teams in our league. And then we really got going there. We had teams there finishing the top 40 all through the last 3 years I was there, and we had 3 conference championships. Women's team was in the top 40. They had 1 conference championship and 1 runner-up in the last 3 years I was there. So, it was a good time. It was a great experience there.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you have built at Barton for the tennis program?
Well, we built like a family-like culture here, I think. Both teams are really close. We have, both teams with our, we have some off-campus students with our older kids. Most all of those live together. So I think that, we built a pretty nice close-knit family here. I would tell you, Brandon.
What is it like playing in the Conference Carolina?
Well, it's long van rides. We go as far as into Conference Carolinas. We go over into Tennessee. We go into Georgia. Go down in Western South Carolina to play. So we got a lot of long van rides with that. The competition is good. There's a lot of parity right now in men's and women's tennis within the Conference Carolinas. We're probably 5, 6, 7 teams deep in each league as far as capable of actually maybe knocking off one of the top teams. So that's a nice thing. So we don't have any easy matches. The region we're in is the Southeast region in the country, and it's produced, a lot of national championship teams, especially in the men's side with Armstrong, which is no longer a school, but now Columbus State has gotten one in the last 2 years. So, the competition here is really, really good overall.
Can you talk about, of course, the rivalry with Mount Olive College?
Yeah, they're the school closest to us. Kevin Coggles, their coach, he's done a tremendous job over there, through the years. So we end up playing each other a lot because of the fact that we both play a fairly similar fall schedule with conferences. So our players come in contact with each other. It's always a heated match. Everything's different when you play Mount Olive. We like that. My first year here, we kind of upset them in the conference championship. The year before, or not the conference championship, but the first round of the tournament, we went into the conference championships seeded 7th, and they were 2nd. And I think we got them 5-3 that day. We swept all 3 of the doubles and got 2 of the singles and knocked them out in the first round. Before I got here, when they won the conference championship the year before, they beat Mount Olive in the semifinals in a very heated match and stuff. And we've had some close ones, some 4-3 losses to them here in the past year. So it's always a good match.
Can you talk about, of course, what is the recruitment process like for prospective student athletes at Barton?
Yeah, it's, we recruit a lot of international kids, but I'm trying to get a lot of North Carolina kids now too. I've got 2 North Carolina kids on my men's team right now. We hope to add another one this year at least, and hoping to add some women's players from North Carolina. But we do recruit a lot of international kids. So, I probably get 25, 30 emails a day about international kids. So trying to find, kids that'll fit our system here, can do well at our school, things like that. We look at, for all students, we look at their, the grades in their SAT or ACT scores are really important to us. Also for internationals, the TOEFL score is pretty important.
Can you talk about, for an official visit, what would a prospective student athlete do?
Well, we don't do very many official visits here, but normally we'll pay for them to stay in the hotel, things like that for our official visit. They have to have transcript on file here and in things. If they participate in a tryout, they've got to have their physical and everything up to date and everything. We have to fill out paperwork for the NCAA and things like that for that. But we have more unofficial visits than we do official visits.
Can you talk about, of course, what the process for the unofficial visit is? Is it the same thing?
Well, it's similar. If they want to try outs, they've got to go through, all the stuff that we need to have to be valid with the NCAA. But mainly it's contacting me. We get them a tour date here on campus and show them around. Then if they're gonna be able to hit with the team, if that's the possibility, get all that stuff done that they need to do with the NCAA and with the school in order to be able to do that. If not, we'll have them watch practice, meet the guys or the girls, and kind of get a feel for what it would be like, to be on the team. So I like for them to see the team at practice. I think that's very important.
What do you plan on accomplishing in this upcoming season with COVID still in effect?
Well, we're hoping to compete for a men's and women's tennis championship this spring. Got everybody back off of last year's women's team. I missed 3 starters from last year's men's team, so but I think we've got a pretty good nucleus here, and we. For our men's team. But I think, our goal is to compete for a conference championship and get ourselves in position for that by having a good year. But it's going to be crazy. You just never know with COVID. You can't plan on it. In the past, it was, you're worried about injuries. Now you're worried about injuries and COVID. So it's going to be tough.
What advice would you give upcoming high school athletes looking to play college tennis?
Well, I would tell them, to make sure that you're playing tournaments, not just playing high school tennis, because we look at things like UTR, which is really important, and that could help. You get a better scholarship. With if your UTR is good and you're playing lots of tournaments, but doing well academically. Not just being, one-sided person like athletics only. That's really not our goal here. And throughout Division II, it's not the goal either. So, really concentrate on things that, that's going to make them successful and a good prospect for a school. But from the athletic standpoint, it's definitely, trying to play tennis year round as much as possible. We do get some people that do play several sports and things like that, but most of them, by the time they get into high school or later into high school, they tend to pick one sport and stay with that in order to better their chances.
That's great advice. What advice would you have upcoming coaches looking to get into college tennis?
Well, I would tell them that don't expect to get on ESPN. Don't expect to become rich. Expect long hours. And if you're married, make sure that she understands the workload, and also have a good dog, because good dog's really important. When you don't have anybody else to talk to in this world, the dog will sit there and listen to you until you're finished. So invest in a good dog.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find Barton College Tennis at on social media, along with you at?
Well, we have a on Facebook. You can look up Barton College Tennis, and we have our Facebook page there. We right now don't have a Twitter page or anything. And you can look up Barton College Tennis on Instagram, and you can find us there. And then obviously our website, bartonbulldogs.com, men's tennis or women's tennis. You can find that when you go there. So, yeah.
Thank you again, Coach Underwood, for your interview, and best of luck in this upcoming season.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Underwood, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.